Mamo, Kanawali, Dewa Bisha, thank you, Lord. Kuru Mamo, Kanawali, oh, Dewa Bisha, thank you, Lord. Kuru Mamo, Kanawali, Dewa Bisha, thank you, Lord. Kuru Mamo, Kanawali, Dewa Bisha. Listen. When I remember watching God and do for me, I'm not able for talk, but for say thank you, Lord.
Good afternoon and welcome again to our weekly edition of Lifetime Impact that is coming your way by courtesy of Radio Universal on 98.9. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Paris. And also, we're live on FM 94.1, Destiny Radio by courtesy of Bishop, Dr. and First Lady Lanka Laga. God bless you and thank you very much. And on Flaming Voice of Hope, we have our men here now who are poised, to take us through this journey. God bless you and welcome. I'm Bishop Dr. Frederick Abubakar Siddiqui Suleiman Koroma, your host for today. Remember that it was Oprah and Ruth that decided to go along with Naomi. But guess what happened? After giving them a narrative of exactly what they should expect, Oprah opted out. She said to herself, I don't think I'll be able to endure all of this hardship. So you know what? Let me go back to my people, back to my God. But the Bible said that Ruth insisted. She said, no, I can't go back. Where you go, I will go. Where I die, I will die. Where you perish, I will perish. So she resolved in her heart, that whatever will be the outcome, she was ready to pay the price. And guess what happened? Her season changed completely. So your season is bound to change if you are desperate, you are determined, and you say to yourself, I cannot give up like Oprah. I will be a Ruth, an outstanding figure in my generation. My generation should hear about my story. So this is why we are here today on Lifetime Impact, and I have a very, very special guest. A daughter of the soul of the church, so to speak. She's here this morning, or this afternoon rather, and she will tell us her name and a very brief background about her family. Welcome.
Thank you so much, my father, Bishop. Good afternoon, viewers and listeners. I am Beryl Emenese Thomosia Cummings, and I'm the last of the 7 siblings on my father's side and the last of the 3 siblings on my mother's side. My father hails from Banana Island and my mother from Ekimori, Southern.
What is Ekimori?
Circular Road, Macaulay Street, that axis.
Oh, that's what they call Ekimori. Okay, I've heard about that before. Okay, yes. Welcome, Beryl. Can you please tell us a little bit about the primary school and secondary school you attended?
Yes, I attended the King Herman Preparatory School at King Herman Road. I sat to the Common Entrance examination and then proceeded to the Annual Memorial School. I sat to the GCO levels in 1997 and then proceeded to do my 6th form, also at the Annual before going to Frabe College.
Wow. So you did your primary school where?
At King Herman Preparatory School.
King Herman Preparatory School. Wow. That means it's a school that is exclusively for those whose parents could afford it in those days.
Yes, it was a private school.
It was a private school.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I went to a municipal school. We call them Brown Kaki School. Well, thank God for that. Thank God for the beginning. Thank God that God has brought us this far. Okay, all right. So well, as I implied in my introduction, well, maybe some people grow up in abject poverty. Like I always cite my own example, that I grew up in a home where poverty was like, how should I put it now? We are married to poverty. So I don't know what life was like growing up at that early age.
God has been faithful throughout the years, but there are times when we had to go through a lot financially. My father retired from his work, and then my mom also retired. She's a civil servant, and our major source of income was from my maternal sister. Sometime in 1998, 1999, she had other responsibilities. She started giving birth to children and all the rest, and she could not support us as she used to in the past.
Wow.
So then we had to turn to my father's employees, who on a monthly basis they will send a bag of rice and some cash for us to survive. And then we also had to depend on rents collected.
Wow.
But as they usually say, Creole, they're not the rents they was there. So even that money was insufficient to run the home.
It was just to run the home.
Yes.
I think when talking with you, told me about an incident when your mom went to Dovecourt or so to shop, and tell us exactly what happened by then.
It was in 2007. I had just taken the bar exams, and then there wasn't enough cash for us at home. So my mom said that, you know what, I have to go to the market, because we usually shop at Dovecourt. We could not afford to go and buy at Kutan Road or Kogo Market, or as the case may be. Mm-hmm. So she had 9,000 leons. Okay. At that time, I think transportation was about 700 leons at that time. Okay. So she told me, you know what, I'll walk to Dovecourt from John Street, and then, after market, I'll walk back.
Wow.
Then I said to her, Mom, it won't make sense for you to walk back home after market, because you would have done your shopping at that time, and to carry, your shopping, it would be heavy. Then I said, okay, wait a while, let me see if I have any cash on me. So I went into my room, I searched on my bags over, looked into my church bags and everything, and I collected the sum of 700 leons.
Okay.
So I ran outside, I called my mom, oh Mom, you have to come, please don't walk back, even if you're walking to the markets, don't walk back. Look at this amount, I found 700 leons, it will take you home. Mm-hmm. Then my mom looked at the money for some time and said, okay, me pikin at the camp. Okay. But then she did not take the direction towards Campbell Street or Dundas Street to go and take transportation. Okay. She took the direction towards Cotton Tree, which would mean that she will walk to the market. I said to Mom, okay, Mom, you know what, you can't walk to and fro. I say, if I give you 700 leons, I say, please, I beg of you, you can take from the 9,000 leons, pay transportation to the market, use my money, 700 leons, and take transportation back. And then she said to me, if you know Seth said this money no boku. Wow. It not go even do. So when my mother came back, she bought okra, what we call kanda, cow hind. And then the thing was so smelly, the okra was so strong, and the ogiri was something else. Those type of ogiri that when you put that on the fire and then the flies starts coming in. Wow. So it was like that. And then we ate. She managed, she cooked, and then we ate. And I said to her, Mommy, this is the sweetest sauce ever you have cooked. Then she said to me, no self our manager make her able for buy this. It was so, at a point in time I wanted to cry. But then I held myself and said to myself, even in my situation, there are some people that I'm better off. And in that situation, I should be grateful to God. Wow. And that was the lowest point ever. We never bought that sort of foodstuff again. That was the lowest point ever.
Wow. Well, kudos to Mama Cummings. I mean, she did a lot. I mean, she sacrificed a lot to see that at least food was placed on the table. Kudos to her if she is listening to me today. Then later, I think your dad had to send your siblings aboard. So what was the motivating factor? Why did she do that?
Yes, the major reason was that I have 6 paternal siblings. My dad had them before meeting my mom.
Okay.
And then when my dad was with their mom, at a point in time in their relationship, the lady took my dad to Waterloo to consult a witch doctor.
Okay.
And then he went there once, according to my dad. He told me before he passed. And then on the second occasion, it was on a Sunday. And he said to her, I won't keep on following you to go to Waterloo, especially on a Sunday, when I am born Christian, I'm from a Christian home and everything,
wow,
to go and consult witch doctor instead of going to church. And I don't like this issue about consulting witch doctor. For what? Don't we believe in God? For what? Then he gave her an ultimatum. You know what? If you want, I won't stop you. If you want to continue consulting witch doctors, you can, but that would be the end of our relationship.
Wow.
So that was the end of the relationship. And then after a period of time, for about 10 more years, she met my mom. And then my mom had to cope with having daughters and a son. And my mom did all what she could to make them happy, to make them comfortable, to take care of them as her own children.
Wow.
But then that did not work for long.
Okay.
And they knew that my dad wanted to get married to my mom. And they were of the opinion, if my dad didn't marry their mom, then why should our dad get married to my own mom? And that was the issue between them and my mom. And then my dad told them, you cannot dictate to me what to do. I have my life. And if I see that my mom is the most suited for him, I'll get married to her.
Wow.
So because of that, he said, you know what, I don't want issues and confusion between my children and, my new home. So you have to go abroad.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's quite interesting. So he sent them to, where is it USA?
Some went to the USA, some went to UK.
Okay. So your dad could afford to send all of them.
Interestingly, it was about 6 years ago, I saw something like a receipt. He was working as the P&T, Post and Telecommunication, as a senior accountant. So he took a loan from P&T to send them abroad.
Oh.
And I saw this, a receipt or something, that they had to deduct that amount from his monthly salary.
Oh, wow. That was very smart of him. So what was life like after you lost your dad? After your dad passed?
After my dad passed, that was the period in time that my maternal sister couldn't support us as she used to before.
Wow.
She started having her own responsibilities and kids in the UK. Mm-hmm. And then my mom had to depend on this rent, which was not enough. We were having about 200,000 leones a month, collecting 200,000 leones a month as rent. And then my mom had to divide it into 50,000 leones per week. So we have the 200,000. So for that 50,000 a week, we will use that to go to the market and buy. If I need to photocopy, it's all coming from that 50,000 leones.
Wow.
If I need transportation, everything, whatever you think about will come from that 50,000 leones. So if the money finishes before the end of the week, we'll have to bear and do with whatever we have until we start using the other 50,000 leones for the next week.
Wow.
So it wasn't easy, but we sailed through by the grace of God.
Wow. So how could I call it? Is that anything to do with economics?
Well, yes, I think so. My mom is very good in that anyway.
Oh, she's very good in that.
She's very good in that.
Oh, that sounds very good. That sounds interesting. Okay, now you said you went to what school again?
The Annie Walsh Memorial School.
Yeah,
Secondary school.
Secondary school.
Yes.
And then you you went to the university.
Yes.
Well, going through this hardship, what exactly was the driving force for you to go to university? I thought, well, maybe because you are going through such period of suffering and trials, you maybe have said, okay, you know what, let me find a job. So why did you decide to go to the university?
Well, for me, university was mandatory because even though my parents could not afford that money at that particular time and had to seek a loan from the family kingdom, because my dad worked for the proprietor of family kingdom Pajawad for a period of time, so we had to seek loan from Pajawad, from family kingdom. For me, it was I have to, because I need to make my life better. I had a maths teacher, Mrs. Gosmith. He used to say to us, what is your parents doesn't mean it's yours. For example, if your parents are owners of fleets of cars or houses, they worked for it. Those cars or those houses are theirs, not yours.
Wow.
They can choose to give it to you. They can choose to give it to any other person. What is yours is yours.
Like
so
that.
you have to read, ensure you become somebody better in the future, and acquire yours. So because of that, I wanted to make my life better, the life of my parents better. So it was not an option, it was mandatory for me. I should attend the university. So what my parents did was to find the avenue for me to have my fees and all what I need to go to the university.
Wow. This is fascinating to see that even though conditions were not favorable, yet they did a sacrifice so that at least you could enhance your educational career, your goals. Well, I remember when I was at F.A.S College, I studied for 4 years without scholarship or study leave. Life was very hard for me, but it was in those days during the early 80s, mid 80s. It was difficult and challenging. Were you on Sierra Leone government scholarship or what?
For the first year, I wasn't on Sierra Leone granting aid, and then I met a friend, and she, well, I accompanied her, and then through her, I had to acquire the granting aid. So I had granting aid from second, third, and fourth year during my Bachelor of Arts.
Oh,
degree.
Okay.
So
Wow.
when I was doing my LLB, I had granting aid for just 2 years, LLB 3 and LLB 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have the first year LLB 2.
Okay, well, you are quite fortunate. Unlike in my position now, it was difficult. It was really difficult going through university for 4 years without study leave, without scholarship. But we paid the price. That's interesting. Okay, so now you finished your first degree, and then you opted to do law. What drove you to do law? I thought you wanted to do something else, maybe medicine. So what were the changes?
Yes, when I was in Form 3, since I was a kid, I wanted to become a gynecologist.
Okay.
And then I had this biology teacher of blessed memory that whether she wasn't able to pass on the stuff properly or wasn't able to understand anyway, something happened at Form 3 that I had. I was in the 50s for biology, and taking into consideration my science, the total grade for my sciences, the science subject, I was in the 70s, and for the arts subject, I was in the 80s. So I said to myself, okay, you know what, I think I should go for the arts and become a lawyer. But prior to that, my mom used to call me, oh lawyer. Each time we'll have, a discussion or something, she would say, oh lawyer, now for blow now. So I was wondering, Mom, you always say, oh lawyer. Maybe what you have said in the past is now coming to reality.
Okay.
Because I had, I was in the 80s for the art subject, so I had to opt for arts and 5 arts instead of I go to the sciences. And then she said to me, you never lose an argument. Even when you were a child, if I say, men say, don't go there. Oh, Mom, why should I not go there? There should be a reason for me not doing something or for me doing something. I am not the type of person that will just say, oh yes or no. I need to know why I should do this. I need to know why I should not do this. So I usually create this argument. So my mom will say, person not going to do something, if I can ask again. So she was referring to me as, oh, lawyer. So when I entered the art stream, my mom said, well, the legal profession will be the best profession for you.
Wow.
Because you never lose an argument.
So that's interesting, parents. The Bible says God gave to Eve the ability to name the animals, and whatsoever name he called them, that was the name. So if you call your child a failure, your child will become a failure. If you call a child, but you're not good for nothing, you are just a chip of the old block. Like if you're a papa, you are prophesying the child's life and destiny. So Mama Cummings, in her own small little corner, had a preview. She had seen the future that her daughter would become a lawyer because she will never lose a case or an argument. And so look at her today. She is a lawyer. I'm talking to my special guest, who is Bail E.T. Cummings, Esquire. Now she's Miss Abiere, and she is a barrister and solicitor at the High Court of Sierra Leone, and also Commissioner for Oath and Notary Public. She is my special guest today for this lifetime impact. So send in your comments, send your question. I'll soon give you the telephone number to call, but you can send your WhatsApp text to 078-861-497, 078-861-497, or send your comment to our Facebook page, Frame Evangelical Ministry International, and we'll read your comments, your question, whatever it is, okay, as we go along. So please, we are very happy today that you are our special guest on this very important occasion. Okay, if I should ask, at this juncture, what message do you have for young people who are on the verge of giving up? Maybe they have tried and they have failed, they've tried and failed. So what message would you give to them?
As I said to the girls last Friday or 2 Fridays ago at annual speech day and prize giving of the best girl secondary school in Sierra Leone, Via Walsh Memorial School, the school with a definite article in front of it.
Wow.
As I said to them, don't give up. You try, and try again. Mm-hmm. At times our mind will tell us, oh, I'm not capable of doing this, or I'll fail my test, or I'll fail the exam, I'll not pass the Becker, or not pass the WASC. Your mind is a powerful instrument. You have to take control and guard your mind.
Okay.
The Word of God says you should renew your mind. So renew your mind. Ensure you tell yourself positive things.
Okay.
I'll make it in life. I'll pass this exam. Mm-hmm. That is not enough. You have to work hard.
Okay.
You have to ensure that you study. Nowadays, you have girls or the young ones who usually say, okay, you know what? I won't study as others will do. I'll just go and this special room. They have this special room issue. I'll pay some money and see if I'll be part of this special room, or I'll go and pay examiners that are marking the script and all the rest to get my requirements, university requirement. But what they are forgetting is this: you may be admitted to the university. The point is this: you might not go through the university, you might not complete the university because you don't have the required ability, you don't have the required skills.
Okay.
If you manage to complete the university, and when you get down from the university, you start working, most of the time you will be asking your colleagues or your friends to do your job for you because you don't have the required ability, you don't have the required skill. So the foundation is important. Ensure you build on a very solid foundation.
Okay.
Study very hard, and don't forget, God is very important. What has taken me throughout all these years, I study as if everything belongs to God. I study as if everything belongs to me, and pray as if everything belongs to God. Mm-hmm. So you have to, don't say, oh, yes, I depend on God, and yes, God will see me through this exam, and when night comes, you close your books, you go and sleep. Most of us, we burn the candle. during the night. We had to study. Even now in our profession, you have to read before going to court.
Okay.
Because you need to articulate your arguments very well. So we don't just sleep during the night. We even study. So it's very important to put God first and study hard.
Wow, that's a very good message. I hope listeners, you are taking this message into good parts. Try to inculcate the truths that are embedded in this message. You are not a failure until you give up. Make sure you lay the foundation. See, that's why today there are so many mediocrity in society and so many square pegs in round holes. Because some people went to the university and they did what they usually do, and they came out as an average of mediocrity. So when they go to the offices, they cannot perform.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I will subscribe to that. And there's a scripture that says in Job 8:7, though your beginning is small, your latter end shall greatly increase. Do you subscribe to this, or what can you say about it?
There's nothing wrong to start small. In fact, can I say it is better for you to start small, so that at the end of the day, you'll know that I've done hard work, I've put God first in all I have done, and this is the end result, the end product. Don't look at others. Don't compare yourself with others. At the end of the day, leave it to God. God has got you. Leave it to God. When in the future, some people will miss you. Oh, na XYZ dan day. Oh, Jane, 9 dan day. Because you started small. You started small with your education. You started small with your business. You started small with your trade or whatever you're doing. But then you've developed that. You've put God first, God at the center of everything, and God has taken you to the next level.
Wow. So don't give up. Everything in life starts very small. Even today you are an adult, but remember where you came from.
Yes.
You are very, very small. And the Bible says Elijah sent a servant to go and look. And he went, he looked 6-7 times, he could see nothing. Yet he held on tenaciously, believing that the outcome would be favorable. So apparently when he went again, he said, I saw the fingers of a man's hand.
Yeah.
So Elijah got the message that God wanted to do something. So please don't give up in life. Make sure you endure until the end. Lay a good foundation, as our sister is telling us today. Okay, make sure you have that driving force, that tenacity to continue despite the stumble block or the crucibles that we meet on the way. Thank you very much, Lawyer Beryl. So, well, I don't know whether this is maybe a repeat of what I asked earlier. That why did you decide to study law? I don't know whether you've already explained it. Okay, you have something to add to it.
Yes,
okay.
The major or one of the reasons why I decided to study law, because of my family background, I found out that my mom was disadvantaged, and then I wanted to fight for the rights of women and girls.
Wow.
Especially women having step kids or step children, what they usually go through, and most of them, they're not in a position to exercise their rights. They just sit there, and what they do is persevere all the time.
Wow.
So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to study law, to fight for the rights of girls and women.
And what about the men? Don't you have?
Well, usually men are the ones who bully us, the women and the girls.
Okay. So you fight for the girls and the women. That's interesting. At least girls and women, you have somebody who will stand up for you and try to defend you and speak for you. Thank you very much for that, Lawyer Beryl. Okay. What should I ask next? How did you come into contact with Fleming? Because I believe you've been here at Fleming for many years. Tell us about the transition of how you got to where you are today in Fleming.
We were attending Samaria Church, WM Church, it's a West African Methodist church, and my dad held the highest position there, Assistant General Superintendent, the highest position for a layman. Okay. And my mom, my dad also was a trustee. They were part of the trust board of that church. My dad died on the 13th of January 2004. And because we had this family rift between the siblings of my father's side and then myself, there was some sort of disruption, should I say disruption, during the funeral service of my dad.
Okay.
One of my paternal siblings had to stop the service, and the reverend in charge on duty at that funeral service had to calm things down. And then at the end of the day, the church said that they should suspend my mom and myself because of what happened in my dad's funeral.
Wow.
And then my mom was like, do you know that that was my husband's funeral? And what did I do? Should I be punished for doing nothing? What about those who committed the confusion or disruption or whatever? Then the leadership at that time thought it fit to suspend my mom and myself for all positions held at that church. But before that, my mom attended the Fleming Bible Center.
Okay, that was the Bible school,
yeah. So she had been in contact with Fleming Church. And when she came, she told me that, well, there's this new church, and they call the pastor, you were Pastor Abu at that time. Out. Because you were known for, the deliverance ministry and casting out demons.
Okay.
So they usually refer to that, out. They say, I would like us to start attending that church. So I was attending that church every last Sunday of every month. So when this thing happened and we were suspended, we thought it fits that, we have been attending Fleming, but we are not yet members of Fleming Church. So maybe this is the time for us to come over and then be members of Fleming Bible.
Wow, that's interesting. So you went to Fleming Bible Center too? Yes,
I went to Bible Center. In fact, my mom had a prayer group and Bible study at Samaria Church at that time. So she went through an operation and she had a vision that God told her to open this prayer group. It was a prayer group. But then she had another dream, God telling her that, how could you open a prayer group without knowing the Bible? So you have to pray according to the Bible. Then I can't remember who connected her to Fleming Bible Center. And then she had to come to the Bible school in 1996 to go through the Bible Center. I came in 98, 99, just before I'd been admitted into Frabe College for my BA. So it was 98,
99. So you were amongst is it Leslie Shillon and all that?
Yes, Gabriel Leslie Shillon, we were all in the same class, Georgiana Karim, we were all in the same class.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I only did the first year, I didn't go into the second year, but Mom did first year and second year at the Fleming Bible Center.
I think I would ask the administrator to go into the archives, because I've never known that you studied at Fleming Bible Center.
Yeah.
So look at Mr. Shillon too is listening to us now. Yeah. He's a student. He was a student at Fleming Bible Center. Yeah. Wow, that's.
I could vividly remember that time. For old Fleming, we have just started tiling the church. So when we had classes, we have to move upwards, so the part that has been tiled, and leave the dusty part at the back. Yes, it's just started tiling Fleming.
Okay. So the school was transferred from YWCA to Fleming.
Mommy went to the school at YWCA, but I went to the school when we were at Old Fleming, because she was attending YWCA for year one. Yes.
Wow! I think I'm. Do I say I'm going old now because I can have a vivid memory of all of this? That's interesting. Okay. Well, So your mom went to Bible school, you went to Bible school, and what did you gain at the Bible Center? What did you go, or what did your mom gain? Tell us.
Yes, a lot. Especially when it has to do with demonology. You know, for us there was a topic. I can't remember whether it was you or your brother that was lecturing us demonology. But we also had Abraham George from Bethel Temple.
Was a lecturer.
Yes, he was lecturing us. And most of the time when we were in, the Orthodox Church, we don't have knowledge about demons.
Okay.
And how they operate, and how the spiritual controls the physical. Okay. So most of the time we think that, this speaking Tranga, yes, now for bitam.
Okay.
But then there's a spirit responsible for that.
Wow.
At times you think, I've failed the exams how many times? Are you stupid? You're not stupid.
Okay.
Are you reading? Yes, you're reading. But then most of the time there is a demon or there's a spirit responsible for that.
Wow.
So quite apart from that, I also learned how to develop your faith. Faith without works.
That was Reverend Donald Ken Lee.
Ken Lee, yes, we had Ken Lee for that. So, faith is not something that you just say or you just talk about. Mm-hmm. You have to take steps. It's an action word. Mm-hmm. You have to do what you believe. You have to take steps to actualize the faith.
Wow.
Those are things that.
Wow, that's very interesting. So you are a Bible teacher per se. You're a lawyer. I think I will tell Pastor, I will commend you. So at least you can go. You will be able to help us with our Sunday school once we resume. Manager, do you have any message coming in? God, please let us hear the response of our listeners and viewers.
We have one from our WhatsApp which says, truly this afternoon session of Impact is full with insight and wisdom. May God continue to bless you, dear Bishop. From the Facebook page and Lahai, Abraham Joe Brima say the program is definitive. God bless the Bishop. Frederica Josephine Dundas saying, put God first. Wow. Esther T.F. Kemokai saying, God bless you, sir. We have John Conte watching us from Kuntolo. We have Charles Conte saying, beautiful testimony. We have Andrew Gomez is saying to us that he's watching us live from the Gambia.
It's a Gambian, okay.
That's what we have for
that's interesting. Wow, so please keep your comments coming in. We'll have to read them through. And you can call us on 075 000 937. 075 000 937. You can call us, or you can send your WhatsApp text to 078 861 497 078 861 497 and listen to the testimony of my special guest in the person of Beryl E.T. Cummings, Esquire, barrister and solicitor at the High Court of Sierra Leone and Commissioner for Oath and Notary Public. Wow. This is very, very interesting. Okay, now let's move to another aspect. There is this, should I call it a misconception or misnomer? I don't know how to term it. That people normally say lawyers are corrupt. There are some families say, no, sorry, law, you could be car-free, you don't go to heaven. So what can you say to debunk this kind of misconception? Is it true that all lawyers are corrupt?
In every profession, there are the corrupt ones and there are the ones that are not corrupt. It is a decision an individual make to be corrupt or not to be corrupt. Or there are situations where people find themselves that they just find themselves being corrupt. But what I usually say is that, and my motto for life is that, do the right thing even when no one is watching.
Wow.
So when you do the right thing even when no one is watching, It is not possible for you to be corrupt. You will live a corrupt-free life.
Wow.
Let me give you certain instances. 10 years ago, or about 12 years ago, I had this case. And I was defending a young gentleman that he was accused of rape. He is a fuller, and then the others, they're fullers. Both sides are fullers. There is this Lebanese guy who is a friend with the complainant. So he met me and said to me, Miss Cummings, we don't find out, say, because of you, this case here, I no go out one time for go. Then I said to him, what do you mean by that? Miss Cummings, if not for you, it's all from London at this case. Okay, you know what you want? Dear, I want me to pull the case for me. And I said, what? What did you say? Please just keep it yourself. And he said, well, Miss Cummings, pull the case for you, go give you 30 million. 12 years ago.
12 years ago, 30 million.
30 million. Leon.
Wow.
And then I said to him, get up from this chair and get out of my office.
Wow.
I have never been so bold to any client before. I told him, get up from my chair and get out of my office. Wow. Hey, Miss Cummings, how you saved the make? So I said, do you want me to call the security? Get up from this chair and get out of my office. And so he went outside.
Wow.
Another instance was a gentleman came to me and he said, I bought this piece of land, but then because of the amount on the, I bought a piece of land, I want to pay 50% of this amount to NRA. So what you will do is put 50% of this amount as the consideration for the land. Then I said to him, I said, you know what, there are, the pros and cons and what the illegality of it. I explained to him. And he said, okay, you know what I go do? The balance 50%, I go give half of them. Then I said to him in my office, can I show you to another lawyer? I yourself the make so. This I want quick if now if you want the money, can I show you to another lawyer? For saying you do this thing, almost panel lawyer them. How many lawyers will reject such offer? And it was a huge money at that time. Wow. How many lawyers will reject? I said, can I show you to another lawyer? Then he said yes. Then I showed him to another lawyer, explained the situation to the other lawyer. I told him, it's up to you. If he wants to do the conveyance, it's up to you. If you don't, you can send him away. So I don't know what happened thereafter. Most recently, about 2 weeks ago, a certain individual came to my office and said, that individual is married, and said, you know what, I've got this marriage certificate, my marriage certificate. He's still married. He's got another marriage certificate having the name of another spouse. I went to the registry to register the marriage certificate, and they told me that the 10 days has expired, and I need a lawyer to do out-of-time registration. So could you please do out-of-time registration for me to register this marriage certificate? And I said to him, sorry, I cannot do this work for you. You know what he said? So you could see.
Wow.
So at times people need to know who you are and what you stand for. You need, especially in your profession, in your career, in your business, whatever you do, how little small, how small, your business or your profession or something, people need to know what you stand for. They might come and test you, but when they come, they'll have the appropriate answer.
Wow.
So always stand for integrity.
Wow. That is important. Always stand for integrity. If you don't stand for something, they will fall for everything. So you see, here tell we now, say, not to the type of lawyer the way they bend. She prefers, not giving nothing, but my conviction, I'm not unscrupulous. I want to follow exactly my conviction. God sees me. The next individual does not see me. So I rather prefer to please God than to please man. Thank you very much. Thumb up for that. So ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, you can stand out. If they are corrupt politicians, there are those who are not corrupt. If they are corrupt pastors, there are those who are not corrupt. You have corrupt bishops that can pray any kind of prayer. Pray for this woman died, the other woman they married to other man. They can do that. Pray for who you don't go go get confusion. You don't take people couple, let them forget about that. No. You get people are corrupt, people are not corrupt. Well, we stand for those who are not corrupt. That's what I've been standing for the past 40 something years now. You have to stand out to become outstanding. So this is what we have instilled in our followers. So you see, I'm very happy today that she's sharing with you our testimonies that you can count her out. You see, you have to stand out to be very outstanding. So she stands out and made herself very much outstanding. Thank you very much for that, and the Lord richly bless you. Over to you. The next question. You've been at Fleming for over 20 years?
Yes.
2007? No, 2007.
We became full members 2005.
Oh, 2005?
2 years before I was called to the bar.
Okay, yes.
I was called to the bar in 2007.
Oh,
We attended
the banquet or what was that?
We had dinner before the calling ceremony.
Yeah, I remember I was there with the late Reverend Dr. Elity Shilo. I stuck by him. Yes, when he invited us. So you've been with us for over maybe 20 years or so. So what do you like about Fleming?
It's a church of the word.
Okay.
There are circumstances that you will find yourself that you need to act promptly. Maybe you'll find yourself in certain circumstance that, I need to call bishop, or I need to call pastoral, or all the rest. But then come to church, listen to the word, put the word in action. Mm-hmm. You teach us the word, and you teach us how to use the word in a various circumstance and situation. Mm-hmm. So put that word in action, and then you'll find out that, I'm really learning. I'm a growing Christian. I'm not a baby Christian.
Okay.
I'm a growing Christian. So I've learned from Fleming the word. The Fleming preaches the word of God. And then Fleming is a warfare. In fact, in the past, my mom used to say, this pastor were always now it's out, a demon in the cast out, As soon as we see, in fact, she usually says, when they were in the Bible school, she went to the Bible school with Mrs. Bluman, and Dr. and Mrs. Dantin Bendu.
Okay.
They were, yes, at Bible school. So as soon as they will see you coming in, he's here, out.
Yeah, so, that's what they got to me. Oh my goodness me.
So I have learned to take authority. Mm-hmm. First of all, I know my authority now. Okay. I stand on my authority and know how to take authority over the devil.
Wow.
So that is what I've learned from Fleming.
So it's like, how should I put it now in a legal sense? Delegated authority. What's delegated authority?
Authority passed on to somebody else.
Oh, yes. So Jesus has given us an authority. So we too are teaching you how to make use of that authority. Wow, Fleming Church. That is what you. Well, like yesterday, you were not fortunate to be at the solution on Monday. We have so many outstanding testimonies. I remember when I came into the church. I came very, very late. There was this man. He slept at the gate. He slept there at the gate. Yes. He was so desperate. He came with the wife. The wife carried him. He could not walk. I saw him. He was on the floor. He was there on the floor. He could hardly just lift up one hand. So I prayed for the sick after 30 minutes. I said, do what you could not do before. The man got up and he began to walk.
Praise God.
He got up, and we got so many testimonies of people blind. The blind saw. We got people who are blind. So I think in Fleming, you learn how to do it. Yes. How would they say DIY?
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yes, certainly.
Do it yourself. We'll teach you.
Yes.
We'll teach you how to do it yourself. Oh, thank you very much for that compliment. That at Fleming, we study the word, we teach people the word, and we expect them to use the word to deal with situation and circumstances. Today you are a lawyer, and then you are also a lawyer of the High Court of Sierra Leone and a commissioner of, is it Notary?
Notary Public. Commissioner for Oaths and Notary Public.
And Notary Public.
Yes, sir.
Notary Public. What did it take to reach to this height?
hard work, integrity, diligence, dedication.
Hard work, integrity,
Diligence.
And what's in the next
Integrity.
one? Integrity. Wow, go ahead.
Usually on a yearly basis, or as the Chief Justice decides, he will choose from among lawyers that are 10 years standing in the legal profession, fit and proper to be notary publics. So when that happens is that he will choose from legal practitioners that have integrity.
Okay.
Because as notary publics, what we do is we notarize documents, we verify signatures, we affirm to affidavits. So our work does not extend to the content of the affidavit, but as to verify whether the person who signed the document is actually the person himself or herself.
Wow.
So there are situations wherein another person will sign this document, for the other person, and then they will come to you as notary public, and you know that this document was not signed by the deponent, and then you notarize that document. When we notarize documents, it means that document would have to be used out of Sierra Leone. So they come to us to notarize maybe documents for visas, for example, things that has to do with birth or death or something. So there are situations in which you have to be that fit and proper person, having integrity, not to notarize a document if you know that the person who signed that document is not the deponent, that is the person who swear to that particular affidavit or that particular document.
Wow.
Yes.
So you must be a practicing lawyer before you're given that opportunity.
You must have been called to the bar for 10 years.
Oh, for 10 years?
And above.
Ah.
Yes, I've been called now for, I'll be 15 in November, the 3rd of November.
So if the Chief Justice deem it fit, can you make me a commissioner of notary public?
A notary public, you cannot be a notary public because you're not a legal practitioner.
Not a legal practitioner. Oh, wow. So that disqualifies me.
Yes.
All right, okay, that's fine. Maybe I always saw the law when I'm in my 70s.
You can be a commissioner for oath anyway, but you cannot be a notary public.
A commissioner of oath.
Yes.
You should not. That doesn't mean.
You need not be a legal practitioner for you to be a commissioner for oath.
So what is their duty? What's their?
Usually, I don't know whether you have sworn to an affidavit or signed an affidavit. They are the ones who usually, you say at the bottom, commissioner for oath. Mm-hmm. Or if you have lost your birth certificate or maybe marriage certificate or something that you need to swear an affidavit to show that, well, yes, I was born on XYZ day, or my father died on XYZ date. And so they are the ones who validate the signature of the deponent.
So who appoints him?
They could be appointed by the Chief Justice.
Oh, the Chief Justice.
We have court registrars and people working in the judiciary who are commissioner for oaths.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, commissioner for oath. Well, maybe I one day aspire to become one of them. Because I am a bishop, at least the Chief Justice will deem it expedient that this man carries an integrity, has character. So it will be okay, that's interesting. Well, there are people in life who desire success. As we are talking now, I know there are many people now who said, but I don't miss her somewhere, but I don't catch up with them. Why should they not give up in the face of adversities? Why should people know? Because definitely adversities are bound to come in life. Jesus went through a period of storm. So what would you say to them in the period of adversity? You are opting for success. Why should you stay focused? Why should you not derail from that?
Okay, I have something I wrote here. It says, knowing what to do will not take you to the top, but doing what you know will take you to the top. So I know that, for example, I have to study and pass my bar exams for me to become a lawyer. I know that. but have not done that. It will not take me to the top. It will not make me a lawyer. So when I do what I know, I have to study. Let me go and study.
Okay.
And pass the exams. Study to pass the exams. Then I know I will be called to the bar.
So say it again. Knowing what
to do will not take you to the top.
Knowing what to do will take you to the top.
Yes, but doing what you know will take you to the top.
Okay. I've got the revelation on this. Yes.
Yeah. So don't give up. If you know and you do what you're supposed to do, then even in the face of adversity, you will emerge a winner. You will emerge successful. So there should be no room for looking down at yourself or for thinking, because this is very important. Most of the time, it's what we think that is what happens in our lives. So you have to guard your mind and your thinking and your thoughts. So don't tell yourself that I will not make it even though I'm facing obstacles. Tell yourself that even in the midst of this obstacle, I am going to emerge successful or a winner.
Wow.
And if you know during that period what to do, and you do what you know, that will take you to the top and you will emerge victorious.
This is very powerful. It's the first time I'm hearing this kind of revelation. Knowing what you do when you're to the top, but doing what you know. Okay. Bible says for him to know it to do good. You don't do it, it's a sin. Okay. That's very interesting. Now let's come to this. If you had to talk to, as I said, you spoke to some young girls at the annual wash, when some 2 decades or 3 decades ago you were a student, and now you are the keynote speaker? Yes,
I was the keynote speaker as the last prize giving 2 weeks ago.
That last prize giving.
Yes.
Okay, now I remember when I was in Italy, there was an incident. My pastor in Italy. By then, the girls are now grown up. I think 8 years, they are twins, the boy and the girl. So the girl came up to him. I think it was about 1 or 2 years. He said something to the girl. Hey, come on, go to mama. For in the kitchen. Imagine the man in a Western world. Tell her, go to mama. Woman for in the kitchen. Do you agree with this kind of concept?
I don't agree. The place of the woman is not in the kitchen. The place of the woman is at the side or by the side of the man.
Okay.
I usually tell my husband, I am your helpmate. I help you spiritually, financially, morally, and all the rest. For example, he's responsible to pay the house help. But because of 1 or 2 reasons, he's unable to pay at the end of the month. I step in and I pay.
Okay.
So I help him financially. So usually when he says, now 2-3 days longer than the month, so how I can pay this woman? Oh, I've already paid her. Thank you so much. Then I'll usually say to him, I'm your helpmate. I'm here to help you.
Wow.
Morally, maybe our husbands would be going through some difficult situations. So we should be there to give pieces of advice that will help that individual to go through whatever he's going through and then take him to the top. Especially when it comes to their business or when it comes to their work. Spiritually, I say or I believe that most of the time women are prayer warriors than men. I stand to be corrected. But we are in that position to pray for our husbands.
Okay.
There are times when I tell my husband, you don't go see me in a bed studio. I get for pray. Since I don't want him to distract me, I go to my mom to pray.
Okay.
And then I'll come back. Times he will say, what's happy? You know, can I bed it? No, I'm going to pray until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
At times he will say, we have devotion every day in the morning. Then I'll say, you know what, this particular circumstance or this particular obstacle, we need to get over it. The wall needs to fall. So I need to go through some form of, prayer and fasting. So we are there. Our place is not in the kitchen. Our place is by the side of the husband or by the side of the man. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be educated. I believe, maybe I stand to be corrected, that So many people that are not educated are wealthier or more successful than the ones that are educated. So you need not be educated for you to help your husband financially or spiritually or morally. But in your own small way, contribute to be that woman that stands by the side of the man. So it's not like, oh, you need to prepare food. Oh, no, you need to this. And there are times when the men should also realize that, oh, it is not the kitchen that is our place. We could be anywhere when given the support. At times we just need that push to get where we want to go. So we need, and even the educated ones, or the ones that will say, okay, you know what, I'm in the better financial position than my husband. But we need that advice from our husband, or we need that push from our husband to take us from the next level. For example, I did I wanted to do my LLM all these years, and after doing my MBA, Masters in Business Administration, and then I was pushing it from year to year, and then one weekend I saw my husband busy on the computer. I was wondering, this is weekend, this man should have my time. Why is he on this computer? I didn't say anything, I left him. Then at the end of the day, men say, yes, look at this, I've already applied for you to do your LLM. I was like, what? You've applied for me to do my LLM? He said, yes, look at it, Salford University, Manchester. I was like, but you have to wait for me. Then he said, you've said that 2-3 years down the line, it is your time to do it now.
Wow.
So I had no option. I had to, reluctantly, although I wanted to do it, but I had to go through whatever I need to go through and start my course. And now I am proud to say that because of him, I'm a holder of Masters in Laws, Commercial Law.
Wow!
So, you need just that push for you to get where you want to go.
That's interesting. Well, I think I would like to know more about this man, Dr. Abieri, right? He's a pharmacist.
Yes, doctor in pharmacy.
Pharmacy. And he's been coming to Fleming since 2000 or something, or what? Before 2007, before 2007. I have never known him until you got married, or after I got married for some long period of time. I know he's a man with a very quiet disposition. Can you tell me something about Dr. Abieri, please? I would like to know about him. In general,
he's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
Take into consideration, quote unquote, agetnaan, and he's able to keep up with my quote unquote getnaan. He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
He has a quiet disposition. He loves God.
Okay.
And one thing I've noticed about him throughout the years is that he refrains from telling lies. When I know my husband has done something wrong, I will ask him, Onome, now you do so and so, or you go so and so, Sai. He will respond, why you they ask? As he responds, why you they ask, I know, this you go there. So, or this nine duam. So I need not, ask further questions. Unlike some men, I not do this, I not go this, I not go here, no, I not make so. That is not my husband.
Okay.
Even if he wants to push him, he will keep quiet. He won't say anything. Instead of saying a lie or saying something that is not true, he will just keep quiet.
Wow.
And he's like a mentor to me.
Okay.
I always say he's like the Booker Washington in the family.
Okay.
He loves reading, he loves acquiring degrees and all the rest. I'm the practical type that, yes, I don't love too many degrees, I just love my practice as a lawyer. But then he will push me to do more. Recently, what he did was all the inquiry about me becoming a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. And he said that you told me in 2019 the Bar Association had a particular conference or something, and you wanted to be an arbitrator and a member of the Institute of Chartered Arbitrators. So I've done all the inquiry for you. Then you just need to do a short write-up about yourself and send it. I was like, hey, bro, why should I say something like this to this man? So he went ahead, did everything for me. He's like the one pushing me. He's my mentor. Okay. Even when I had to do my dissertation, it was like my shadow supervisor. So before I sent my work to my supervisor in Manchester, United Kingdom, he will look at it and make all the comments and ask me to redo certain areas before sending it. Most of the time, because of work work, and tiredness and all the rest, I won't adhere to his advice, so I'll just send the work. And when my supervisor will send the work back to me, the same comments my husband had made will be the same comments the supervisor will make. So he's like, is that person who will push me to go beyond my limits.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's a plus. Husband, how many of us, your wife will say you know the lie? Because so husband and then not husband now hunchback there, and you must have the confidence of your wife. You have to sit when you say wife say this not this, but you say you go board meeting, go board meeting now you board meeting you go. You see, because at the end of the day you lie. So how many of us could our wife say to us who say about us, we man know the lie. When you man say A na A mean. I remember there's an instance when you're talking about your husband. He said women are people who like to pray. I could subscribe to that. Although some of us men, of course, I like prayer.
I know that.
But God told me if you should love my presence the way fish would like to stay in the water. So I pray, I pray. There's an incident when this man, anything will happen. The question where they pray, God the answer. Any officer they carry, they pray, God the answer. But the man refused to give his life to Christ. He refused blatantly. So he was trying to pray, started the gap. So one day, I think it was somewhere, and the wife went to God. I said, "You're tired." And I said, "Papa God in heaven, please, I'd ask you for do one thing. If you either save my husband or take him home." So the man agreed it. He won't come. No. I give it to Christ. I give it to Christ because he knows that God is going to answer the prayer of the woman. So that's a plus to it. Okay, let's hear the comment that before we go to the final question. Yes, manager.
We have Lahai Joe Brimer saying, "Sister, your polite devotion over the years has been your greatest beauty. Keep it up." Lahai Joe Brimer. We have Patricia saying,
Patricia what?
Message are coming in. We have Patricia Kotua saying, "Great." Bondu Mania saying, "So both of you walk side by side supporting one another. He's a real gentleman and you are blessed. Wow, Papa, husband. You really love your wife. May God bless you immensely for supporting and motivating your wife." We have Abraham Dumbuya saying, "Wow, my daddy, great work, sir." We have Lahai Abraham Jobrima, "Thank you, that the bishop, for that fine turn of phrase out there. You have to stand out to become outstanding. It's a beautiful takeaway. Thank you, sir." We have Reverend Dr. Lady F.A.S Koroma sending the thumbs up to our lady here.
So your spiritual mom is sending a thumb up for you.
Thank you, mommy. I love you.
Okay.
We have Bondo Mania saying, "True daughter of Zion." Bondo Mania saying, "Our bishop is a commissioner. You do what you do, and it's what is taking you to the top. Divine connection and obedience has placed you at the top." We have Dalton Eldred Samuel Kama saying, "Really incredible. God bless you, sir." We have Basiru Mansare saying, "God bless you, Daddy Bishop. May the goodness of God continue to protect you, sir. More grace." We have Frederica Josephine Dundas saying, "Very interesting. God bless you, our able bishop." We have Echo Johnson saying, "God bless you, Daddy Bishop, for your great work in the land and beyond." We have our last message from Lahai Abraham Jobrima saying, "This program is definitive. God bless Daddy Bishop." That's all we have for.
Wow, thank you very much for your comments. We appreciate it very much. We are going to draw down the curtain, so you can still call us on 075 000 937 or send your WhatsApp to 078 861 497. I know we are reaching out to hundreds of thousands of people, not only within the confines of Sierra Leone, but beyond the boundaries. People are watching us from Middle East, from America, from Australia, from different parts of Africa, and from London, New London, in Bo. We have London in Bo. Got it, New London and Bo. Okay, very good. Thank you for your comments. So I know you've been with me for many years. So you said something about your husband, which is very incredible, and every husband wants to match up to that, to become the kind of husband that their wife will love, embrace. They say, even though I get now, this man here is try for help me. What can you say about me, your bishop now, who has been with you for maybe? Have I known you longer than your husband?
Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So what can you say about Pastor Abu, Bishop Abu now today?
I can say he's a father.
Okay.
He's a father, he's a mentor, he's a spiritual head. At times we don't realize how much we are missing out when we don't give that respect to our father. And at times we don't even realize how much he spends sleepless nights praying for us. I could remember in 2006, during the all-night service, after the preaching or something, he would come up to come and do deliverance. And at that time, I was having some rash in my body since birth.
Okay.
My parents did all what they could do. Unfortunately, medically, they could not get rid of the rash. So on that particular day, Friday night, I made up my mind. You know what? Bishop is going to do deliverance today, and I'm going to fast for 3 days.
Wow.
And I know I'm going to complete the fast on Friday, and I know that everything buried that is mine will resurrect. The interesting part is that on that particular Friday, that was your topic, your message topic.
What is the topic?
Anything buried, whatever has been buried, should resurrect.
Wow.
So we went up, and then you started doing deliverance. As you started praying, casting out demons, I jumped. That was the last thing I remember, that I jumped, and then I fell. That was the last I could remember. Then Pastor Jeremiah, Pastor of Waterloo, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
Koroma, yes. He was at Flame Headquarters at that time, and when he explained to me, he came around me, and then I came to myself. You know what he said to me? Bail you for them all. So I was like, But I thank God, because I knew that when I will attend that program, I will have my deliverance.
Wow.
So I thank God for the type of spiritual father that I have. That's why I always tell people, Flaming Church, I'm not the left there, invite me no more, I will go all aside, but Flaming Church, because that is where I have my deliverance. I had my deliverance, and I'm still having my deliverance. So I thank God for the spiritual father that you are, and a physical father. I could remember when I came with Onome, my husband, to you, and then we were preparing for our wedding. And then one day, I think it was 2 weeks or so before the wedding ceremony, you called me. And when you called me, you gave me heavy pulse. I was like,
I did that.
You did that.
Oh my goodness.
I said, this is a real father to me.
Oh.
So I thank God for your life, and I pray that God will continue to bless you, endow you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that wonders will be wrought throughout your ministry, throughout your life. And I pray that whatever you desire, especially with the ministry, will come to reality in Jesus' name.
Wow, thank you very much for that positive comment. I could remember it was on Solution on a Monday. It was yesterday. More people coming from the provinces. The church was packed full. I mean, the main auditorium, because of the crisis, we could have gone to the third gallery. So I was so tired. I couldn't sleep at night. I would just pray. I couldn't go out. I stayed indoors on Saturday. I stayed here. So I just prayed and crying to God. God, please get somebody delivered. If you hear the testimonies, the lady said to me, in fact, they carried her into the sea in a dream, and she saw this blood coming from this other lady. They said, "What is this?" He said, "Are you next?" And she was sick. Another one 18 years, another one, the thing was so phenomenal. But the thing that baffled me, most was when I look at my wife, I said to her, I said, may I read it? He said, yes. I said, not sleep. And I said, the price we get for pay, the price you pay for the deliverance of people. And God said to me, you have to love people. I said to myself, I said, if you don't get this solution on this day, if you hear the testimony, Augustine, remember some few of them, right? Remember that one who gets stroke when Papa come. Papa will come 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, Gap, look and go in a meeting. I said, hey, Papa, make her sleep small. She's 20 years of age, the last child. Papa, last sleep small. I tell you, Papa, I said, hey, Papa, is here also. Now he said, go dress. Now he carry Papa need the waka. Now he carry and come. Papa waka, he jump, he gap, he waka out. God heal her. God heal him completely. So I think we are still paying the price. And I've been paying the price since I got born again in 1980. God said to me, you have to set my people free. So there are testimonies that are bound, not only in Sierra Leone, in India, in Australia, in Jamaica. There are places where I've taken my wife to. She's my companion, my traveling companion. So I take her with me to Germany, to Belgium, to Kenya, to different parts of the world. And as you rightly said, there are people who have testified of God's hand upon their lives just because we came in. Thank God for that. We thank God for that, and we pray that we continue to be humble and to serve humanity. So what will be your last word for today?
Well, I would say keep talking right, doing right, and living right.
Keep talking right,
doing right, and living right.
Okay.
The Bible should be the standard for your living.
Okay.
My motto in life says, do the right thing, even when no one is watching. So let's continue to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. With your integrity and with God at the center of it, you will get to the top.
Wow.
And I want to also take this opportunity to say a big thank you first to my mother, who has cared for me throughout these years despite going through tough times, and also to my loving husband, for putting up with my quote-unquote getnan. Thank you so much, and I love you. And I also want to say for my siblings, my paternal siblings, it was in 2019 they came home, apologized to my mom, and we are in a cordial relationship.
Wow.
Since 2019. So I thank God for their life.
Wow. Well, this is how we close the chapter for today. My special guest is a lawyer. Mama call him old lawyer. So from a gynecologist, that was her vision. She's now a lawyer. So I believe today you've been tremendously blessed, and I hope to get you again next week, Tuesday, as my special guest to this Lifetime Impact. This is Beryl Cummings, Esquire. Well, Beryl Abiri. Thank you very much, Mr. Abiri, for coping up with quote-unquote getnan. When you talk about that, me say getnan. He said, say getnan. But now you patient, things are going on very well. Thank you, all of your listeners and viewers. God bless you, and have a wonderful and blessed week. Bye-bye.
Libra Cala Sutulaba.